Hello everyone. So in this tutorial I'm going to tell you something about context API, why we should use it and under what circumstances we should try avoiding using this context API. And I will also cover a little bit about the difference between context API and Redux, because to some extent both of them are used for the similar functionality for controlling states. So in this tutorial I'm going to cover that also. So hope you will find it informative. So if we talk about what is Context API, Context API is a new feature that you would find in the 16.3 version of React only. Before that it was not there, and it has been added as a new feature for some purpose only. What is the purpose here? That it is a type of global state accessibility to different component and is at the top of a tray. For example, if in React, like in Angular and other frameworks also, like in React also, there are many components, and you can see every component has some states. So if you want to have some components and you want to share some states between these components, then you will have to have something that can make them global, because every state is connected to a component. But if you want to share those states, then there should be something which is global, and that is normally provided by Context API. And due to this only, Context API was added as a new feature in React in the version of 16.3. So you can use Context API to share states, as I told you here. The benefit of using Context API is that if you want to use any state at certain level, just go for it and subscribe the state. There is no issue that this state belongs to this component and this state belongs to that component. If you want to use a state which is of another component in another component, then you can use it, just subscribe the state in that case. And one of the most important advantage of using Context API is that there is no third party tool has been used in it. So it is an inbuilt feature of React, so we won't have to subscribe to third party tool, or it will cause any we can say confusion or contradictions, or we can use it easily. So, but when we are using Context API, normally there is one word that is often used with React props, and React props drilling feature. What is prop drilling feature in React? For example, there are too many props which are being in component, and we can share those props in the same component, grandparent, then parent, then child, so they can access the same props, but those props cannot be shared by another component. So do not confuse Context API with that, because in Context API one can share states among different components of application. So this is in brief we told you about Context API. So next question is, as I use two terms here, one is state and one is props. So states and props are the heart of React application. In every application you will find some states and props. So what is normally users, they get confused, coders they can get confused initially what is props and what is states. So in that case we can tell you that states and props are almost similar, but the difference is that props means properties. So props is something which is unique to a component and that is not shared by any other component. So props are used if these properties are to be used within a component only, and no need to share across different components. They are the property of a single component. This way props do not change and remain within a component, you can say. But on the other hand, states can change the view and they can be shared between different components. This is the main property of state. So if you want to change the view, if you want to share something across different components, then you should go with state. Otherwise you should use props. So how you can change a state? There is a function set state function in React to change the state, which is already created inbuilt, so you can use that function and you can use start sharing states, or you can change state once you have fixed state. Once you have set your state, you can change it anytime by using that function. So this is a basic difference between state and props. Hope you understand this up to here. So next thing is how Context API works. So as I told you that Context API is mainly used to share states among different components of a React application. So Context API is an inbuilt feature in the 16.3 version of React, and we use a simple function for this, that is react.createContext, and this is an inbuilt function of React, and we just use this in our code and it will start using create context APIs. And in return it will always have two things. One is consumer, another is producer. So as the name suggests, consumer and producer, what are they? So but we will discuss these two in next slide. So here in last slide we talked about producers and consumers and context API. So as these are the simple terms as we have seen, like in any market, in any industry, you will see one is producer, one is consumers. Consumers are those which consume, which utilizes the services, and producers are those which provide the services. They are the whole storehouse. So in case of React, in case of context API especially, as the name suggests, producers are those which produce, or we can say hold. They hold states, while consumers are those which use those states. So we can say producers are the storehouse because they have states, while consumers are those which utilize those states. Both are required. Without producers, consumers won't be able to use anything, and without consumer, there is no use of producers, right? So as we said earlier, there is an inbuilt function of using create context API, which is react.create context. So it always returns two value parameters. One is producers, another is consumers. So producers components provide state to its children and hold all the states. Got it? It holds all the states and behave like a parent. So you can say there is a producer which has all the states, because you know create context we use globally. So it creates a variables or states globally. So it will have all the states. It will behave like a parent, and whenever any component require those states, then they will just use these states which are the producer. So both are components. Producers are also component, consumers are also component. The difference is that producer components provide these states to the consumer components when they require. In a very simple language, you can say that, while consumers on the other hand are those consumers which use the states, right? So this is why we use context API to share the states. So next is context APIs versus Redux. So we have understood the functionality basics of why we use context API. We use context API because we want to share the states between components, because with the help of props we are not able to share anything about components. So in that case we use context API. But there is another term also, Redux. Redux also has different functions, like in Redux we have three things. In Redux we have three things. What are those three things? One is actions, second is reducers, and third is store. So this store has all the states, and actions are the events, that anything which happens when user interacts with the views, and the reducers are those which are JavaScript functions, and then store is something that contains all the states. So we can say in context API also we store the states, and in case of Redux there is a store that saves the states. So functionality is almost to some extent same. So context API and Redux both can be used for state management in React, sorry, but context API should be used when your project is really small, correct, and maybe 2 or 3 pages are there where not many number of states are required. But if you require a project, if you have a project which has lots of states, you have to maintain lots of state, you have to do lot of data sharing, state sharing between different components, in that case you should use Redux. Redux has its own store of state that can be used to share across different components. In Redux, if you want to make a change in its states, it follows some steps which reduces the error, correct? So in most cases when the project is very complicated, we should be using Redux. So in last, we have a question in our mind: when should we use context API and when should we be using Redux? Why we cannot use context API all the time? Why should we need Redux also? So in that way, we can tell you that there is the basic difference. For example, if you have state that are needed in a particular component only, right? So avoid sharing it among the components with context APIs or Redux. That means in some scenario, it is not required to use context API or Redux. it is not required to use them, because people have an misunderstanding that we should use context or API all the time, we should share the states all the time. No, it is not required. If you have something, that you need for a particular component only, you don't want to share it with others, then don't use context API or Redux. Just use props in that case. So use state sharing only when it is needed, and avoid if it is not needed. Don't make your project complicated. So in that case, just avoid anything, just avoid context API, just avoid Redux. So hope you have liked this short video, and your feedback is awaited. You can leave your feedback in our comment section. Thank you.